meaning we are ready to return to Barovia. But before we do so, why don't we learn a little bit about who's coming along with us for that journey?
Yeah, hey everybody. My name's I go by Thresh. Uh I'm playing Flat Top Slowhand. He is a tiefling gunslinger. Uh Not familiar with this strange land still.
I'm Connor. I'm playing Valen. He's a drow, a noble from the underground. He has been traveling the lands and now here in Barovia and does so with his Shadowhound companion Nyx.
Hey folks, I'm Samir and I'm playing Ephraim Kesh, a Brass Dragonborn Way of Mercy monk. He has been around a little bit in Barovia. Um, as far as fun facts go, he doesn't remember everything from before he came here, and he's still piecing that together.
And I'm Caitlin. I'm playing Jinx. Jinx is a mischievous and curious Blackford Tabaxi rogue inquisitive. This week's fun fact about Jinx is as we head back into the cold mountains, he's getting anxious about Gerald's glass sphere getting more damaged or even broken. It's currently safely tucked away in the fur boot lining Esmeralda gave him, but he worries it won't be enough. During quiet moments, he holds the silver coin with Timora's visage and mutters a quiet prayer over and over. I'm not a Jinx, I am Jinx. Please fix Gerald's glass. And he secretly thinks if he can keep the holy symbol warm with his own body heat, maybe his goddess will hear his plea.
With our cast of characters, once more we travel beyond the fog, Barovia. Cold, dismal space. And you've traveled much of this realm. But when we last left off, you were in the foothills of Mount Baratok, having just been struck by a mage's lightning as that mage ran off further into the mountains. And you were giving chase. I will ask, in this moment, for everyone in the group to roll for me survival rolls.
I am cleaning up after the cats. Could you roll mine real quick?
I can roll yours.
Oh, that's pretty good for Jinx. He got a 19.
25. Too bad.
Let's see what top gets. Survival. A nice 10 on the Vecna dice.
That I don't like that you're using the Vecna dice. Can you roll with something else?
No, I like the Vecna dice.
Well, that clearly they don't like me. I need you to roll with something else. It's hurting my self confidence.
You're 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 telling me all those awful spider hybrid demons could have rolled a 10, but you gave it to Flat Top instead?
Yeah. So it's I don't know what to make of this, but I feel like I'm being bullied and I should be canceled.
As a group, you guys are following after this mage, and while Valen and Flat Top are struggling a little bit at the end, overall your group is able to keep pace and watch where this figure is bolting not just away, but through the different terrains. And eventually you're able to see where there is a small cave in the sort of base of the mountains that this figure pulls himself up onto the rocky outcropping and scurries into the cave.
Well, it looks like he went away.
Does someone less creepy than me want to try talking to him?
Well, we have to catch
Well,
up to him first. But
considering his way of introducing himself to us was firing a lightning bolt at us and running off into the woods, I would say he's not too keen on talking.
Well, he is called the Mad Mage, so he might just be insane.
Usually, people, from what I find, people who are insane are also not too keen on talking.
Let's not kill if we have to.
All right, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, we got our work cut out first, so we don't need to add to it by having my creepy visage speaking at him.
Goodness, you guys have a charisma-based spellcaster in the group. Yeah, let's try talk first before we fling spells around.
we could always knock him unconscious and then talk after waking him up. There are options.
I'm sure he would fire a spell at you before you got close.
Well, I try to make a habit of not being where things are coming at me, so let's cross that spell when we get to it. But I agree in principle. Can we approach the cave at this point?
Yeah,
So we kind of
totally.
know where it is.
You'll have to climb to get there, but
And I do not want, once we get to the mouth of the cave, I don't want any surprises or traps or anything like that. So when we get to the mouth of the cave, I will cast Detect Magic.
okay.
I have a
Got
climb
off.
speed.
Well, detect magic is already, picking up the magical items amongst your companions. The cave appears unmagical.
Okay.
And when you
Is
step in,
Gerald magical? Okay.
oh, I just had an idea. I don't think
Jinx thinks Gerald is magical.
there's a way that Jinx might be able to make Gerald magical. But
Oh my goodness, I didn't think of doing that. I'll keep that locked away for later.
it's probably not the way that Faye's imagining it, but you guys.
At any rate, you inspired me.
This is how it works. You guys give me ideas, and I'll give you guys ideas back.
No.
Yeah, like that angry dragon. So, as you guys can climb up the mountain, anyone who does not have a climb speed, I'm going to ask for an athletics check to do this.
Oh, come.
I'm assuming.
One of the questions. I don't have a climb speed, but it's the what's it called? Acrobatic movement.
Where you can run up
So-
walls? Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Yeah,
I'm here for dope milk
as
shit.
Jinx climbs. Yeah, you just kind of like wave and just like run up. But if I'm able to run up, I do have a rope, I think.
Yeah.
So I could run up and act like. Do I have a hook? Hang on. I do have a grappling hook and a rope. So what I could do is, what Ephraim's probably going to do is like, since if it's a little rocky up, what I can do is tie the rope to the grappling hook, go up, and then anchor it to something and drop it down. Might make it a little bit easier for
Yeah?
Flat Top and Valen to climb up.
Heck yeah, I'm here for that. So
But
as
somehow I passed my
you get a good like starting grip, and then the rope come down, and then you can just climb up easily.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so you all make your way up, and there is light coming from within the cave. You smell smoke, and you can see a fire burning.
Do we see the figure at all?
You do. He is next to the fire.
Is anything cooking in the fire, or is it just a fire?
You do not see anything cooking on the fire, no. It's just a fire.
Is it a magical fire, or is it just, a fire?
It is just a fire.
Find that dubious.
I think we'll
Is there a
handle
way we
this.
can approach? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, maybe as in times past, we let the sorcerer talk first and go first.
You got this.
My hands are free of weapons. I'll stand back and try to be as non-threatening as possible.
I will too. I don't have any weapons anyway.
I will keep my hand above the handle of the revolver, but I will not draw just yet.
Okay.
Valen will start to approach.
Are you making yourself known?
Yeah. And I'd probably start off with some an attempt at flattery. Like while I'm starting to walk up, I would say pretty normally, "It was quite an impressive spell back there."
Give me a persuasion roll.
God, these dice.
13. Oof.
It rolled off an 18.
As you're drawing attention to yourself in this cave, the mage stands up again, hair wild about him, and a hand moves in a quick circular motion and draws fire from uh, the campfire and throws it out at you.
Is that a
And
spell he's casting?
it is.
I'm gonna counterspell it.
Sure. He rolls.
So I'll do it base level 3rd. So it's a con save. DC 18.
Do, 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 do. Alright, so you counterspell the firebolt he throws at you. And as you do so, he keeps his hands up, and you can see, of course, the fire in the campfire dancing, reacting to the sort of magic potential here. Nothing's quite cast yet, but you can go and tell your dark masters they can break my body, but never my spirit.
First, I will tell him that if we were here to attack, we would have done it already. And something tells me that you are not quite right in the head.
Fitch is a fiddle. And you were trying to lure me into complacency.
I have a sneaking suspicion you ended up in these lands the same way we did. Is that correct?
I've been to the mountains and to the river and to the trees.
If it or not, you may think what you like, but we have come for your help.
Roll another persuasion roll, please.
16.
He doesn't throw a spell at you, so progress.
Yay.
Jump him.
Get him. But besides not throwing the spell at you, he doesn't remark upon your supposed reason of being here.
Like you said, he didn't throw a spell at me, so that's a start.
Progress.
Do you remember anything about how or why you ended up here?
I remember there's Stark agents after me. I remember how evil lurking in the shadows. They want me. They want my magic.
Okay, so I'm starting to think like, is my detect magic picking up anything around him?
No, He's he seems trained in the arcane, but is no more magical on your detection than you would be.
Okay. Trying to think. Excuse me. We are trying to get out here. We heard rumor that there was a mage up here that could help us. I assume that's you.
Yeah. Where did you hear this rumor from? Do you trust the figures that spoke of me?
I'd be happy to explain that once you. Well, actually, before I say that, based on what he said, can I figure out if he truly is insane or if there is legitimately something wrong with him?
Roll a insight check.
Dude's nuttier than a squirrel turd. Just pass on.
18.
18. Hard to say for sure. This is a man you've met briefly once before on the other side of a lightning bolt. You know of various different forms of madness. One, of course, that befalls upon the regents of your home kingdom. Um, this does not seem to be of that same deterioration. Um, but there are spells that can induce magic that numbs the mind to its most basic form. Um, who's to say that there is not a magic out there that could uh, induce such levels of paranoia, though that might not explain everything else that's going on, so perhaps this just is truly a more natural bout of madness.
Ben's thinking he wants to eliminate all other possibilities before he determines that this man is truly mad, because he is a mage, so he seems at least competent in using his spells. I will ask him, have you cast any spells on yourself that may have backfired?
I don't typically cast fire upon myself. There are spells to warm, but why use spells when you can make fire? There are spells to change one's shape. You can be more than a man. You could be a squirrel. And in burrow, you can be a dog that hunts, or a stag that climbs. Um,
What about what about spells that affect your mind?
you would be affecting their mind. What a silly thing to do. Unless you're infecting my mind. Who are you? Who sent you?
This is starting to get a little tense. We've come here on our own volition. There's no one here but us. And we do truly think that you can help us.
Roll another persuasion roll.
21.
Uh,
Come on.
Uh, yeah, no, he doesn't throw another spell at you. Again, progress. Seems to be waiting to listen more. Not getting a little heated.
I have a question just about the scene in general. As Esmeralda was with us, right? So did she follow us into the cave?
Yeah, she's sort of keeping to the back and just watching all of this going down.
Okay.
Try and make this at least a little less tense. I'll tell you my name at least if you'll tell me yours. I'm waiting to see if he agrees or not.
He doesn't seem disagreeable with the presentation, but
Okay. Valen.
as you speak, he sort of turns away from where he'd been looking at you and veils, veils. There's something beyond the veils. What is it? And sort of mutters to himself. He does not offer a name.
Do you remember what your name is?
What is a name? But the sound of the wind, mountainside. What calls to you but the scream of mountain lions?
Okay, Valen is like it's a mage of like his skill ability because that what's so sorry I cannot speak. That spell he threw at us was it chain lightning that he threw at us?
No, it was just a lightning bolt.
Oh, lightning bolt. Okay. Starting to think like if he's like a truly talented mage, like he wouldn't just forget his own name. So something he feels like something is up here.
Remember, you are in
We
Strahd's domain, so.
we used that Greater Restoration scroll, didn't we?
I do have actually. Now that you mentioned scroll, sorry, I remember if we. I can't remember where we picked it up at, but I do have a scroll that's wasn't able to like decipher what it said, but I know it's a scroll of something.
If I remember correctly, you would retrieve the scroll from the
Is it the Amber Temple?
Amber Temple.
We got a bunch at the Amber Temple.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Casimir
Mm-hmm.
was able to identify some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Was one of them a greater restoration?
I think one was, but we used it on the other guy that showed us around the place so that people didn't attack us. The guy that, because I think he forgot who he was or something. The like skeleton guy.
The
Because we had Casimir cast the Greater Restoration because he was the only one that kind of had clerical training.
Yep.
Okay. And the one I have, I wasn't able to decipher what it was.
Exithander?
That's exactly who it was.
Oh, there was a scroll of creation which Valen took because it was a sorcerer's spell. There was a scroll of contingency which Casimir took because it was a wizard spell. And then there was greater restoration, which Casimir takes and then uses.
Shoot, and this is going to be the problem because I don't have greater restoration in my arsenal.
Yep, that is correct.
So,
But I mean, like, he's able to cast spells, as you've seen. It's just, a matter of communicating to
Maybe he
him.
can cast it. Maybe it's in his repertoire. He just needs someone to tell him, hey, maybe you should do that to yourself.
I mean, you can always try.
Well, as a sorcerer myself, I may have a solution to your problems. It's
I know
quite
how
simple,
to
actually.
fix the holes in my socks.
How to fix
You
yourself.
don't know mending, brother?
Yeah,
Do you know the Greater Restoration spell?
Greater restoration, greater restoration. I think I do. I can cast it as a ritual. I lay down in my bedroll, and I wake up and I feel much restored.
Why don't we try that then? If you're okay doing that.
Okay. But you will have to stay on that side of the fire.
Done.
And very carefully you watch as he moves. And anyone with an insight of 11 or higher realize that this man isn't preparing any sort of arcane ritual. It looks like he's preparing to sleep.
He's going to sleep.
I wish I had the spell, dang it.
He told you he was going to go to bed.
Yep.
My friend, before you go to sleep, I need you to cast.
I'm not sleeping. I'm casting the spell. I told you, it's a ritual.
Then you cast it by sleeping.
As I said, I lay down in my bedroll, and when I come out of the spell, I am much restored.
All right.
Truly a powerful and great mind of this whole region.
I am. That is why the agents are after me.
We'll let you do what you're going to do, and we'll stay on this side of the fire.
If you don't, I will use my magics against you.
But you can't do that because that would break concentration on your ritual, wouldn't it?
I am very powerful. Do not question me.
Okay.
So, as the mage prepares his ritual,
8-hour ritual.
and it's an 8-hour ritual, 100%. At least it's warm in the cave.
Yep.
Right. Valen, you got to figure out greater restoration. You're the only one of us who cast spells good.
Or
Oh,
if not, figuring out greater restoration, figuring out how we can communicate with him effectively enough to get him on our side.
You can start by fixing his socks.
It might actually be worthwhile to play into his delusions some. We meet him where his mind is.
has
I
he
wonder if
fallen
this is
asleep
not
yet or
maybe a
no?
psychological.
Uh, roll an insight check.
Me or Ephraim?
Yeah, you, if you want to know if he's fallen asleep yet.
Oh, okay. A 19.
Uh, it's hard to say if he's fallen asleep because he could just be a restless sleeper, but he is facing away from you, laying down on his bedroll.
Okay. I'll play. I'll take Esmeralda's advice and play into these delusions, despite his better judgment.
Well, right now his delusion is that he's in the middle of a ritual. Do you wanna take a long rest or no?
Well, he also said he's great and
Yeah.
powerful, and that he can do that.
I might have something. I
Yeah.
have 4 potions, 2 of each of some kind, that I keep forgetting to identify whenever I sit down for a little bit. So if I could take some time in the warmth of this cave and take a look at these potions I found at Argynvostholt, maybe one of them is something that could help.
Okay.
I think I got two of each of
Mm-hmm.
whatever they are, I believe.
If I remember correctly, 2 were potions of invisibility.
But that's
That's
what I
pretty
thought they were. 2 appear empty but feel heavy and have sloshing liquid inside. 2 appear as thick metallic sludge.
Oh, that's a greater restoration push.
Right?
Don't you know?
If only.
That's how
Exactly
I
what we
know
need.
them. Has people been selling me the not the potion I asked for?
Well, if it stuns, paralyzes, or poisons you, we can fix that right quick. But outside of that,
All right. Taking an hour to figure out what this potion is, the secondary one. Um, you find out that the other 2 are potions of invulnerability.
Good to know. I will let my companions know that I finally identified these potions.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
If he's gonna take a full 8 hours, I think we might as well, because that was a pretty hefty hit we took from that bolt.
You're welcome to take the.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I got hit.
You're welcome to take this opportunity for either a long rest or a short rest. Your Mad Mage of Mount Bartok will be taking a long rest as he conducts this ritual of greater restoration.
Ephraim's gonna take a short rest to recover a little bit of health, but he's wondering if he can observe the monk while he's resting to get an idea if it's any physical ailment there, or if it's more just in his mind.
Yeah, of course. No need to roll if you'll be taking an extended amount of time on this. And we'll get to those results after I hear if anyone else is going to be doing anything.
Since I only need 4 hours for a long rest, I'll take a long rest.
We'll take a long rest.
Yeah. Jinx, you
Sorry,
gonna be resting any?
I will. I'm sorry. I'm trying to add things to the party. I'm just adding the potions to the party inventory.
You're okay.
Um, so I will be taking a rest of an indeterminate time once I figure out what resources I need.
Okay. So, uh, with the short rest from Ephraim passing first, as you can now sort of take up a vigil looking over the man on the other side of the fire. You, of course, notice a sort of restlessness in his sleep, but other than that, no physical ailments aside from perhaps a bit of slightly underweight. Not quite fully malnourished, but definitely could be eating better. So it seems that whatever madness has taken grip of him is of a mental affliction rather than induced by something physical.
I guess everyone's gonna relay this to the party.
Yeah.
Again, like I don't know uh, enough about magical ailments, but he just seems like he hasn't been eating enough, which makes sense if he's been shifting as a squirrel and feeding on leaves and nuts. Um, Ephraim is gonna use the fire to warm up some, or to make soup out of one of his dry rations, I guess.
Yeah. So
Just as a something for the mage when he wakes up.
yeah, so you're able to speak with Valen first about your findings, as Valen would be the one conscious sooner. Um,
Jinx will be taking a short rest.
and Jinx can also know of this as well, as the two of you are taking short rests. Um, and then as uh, Flat Top comes to after a long rest, can be made aware as well. Um, but soup is in the process of being made. Jinx, Valen, you're able to make comment on Ephraim's findings if you so wish.
Sorry, I got a text message. What were his findings?
Mainly that this is a mental affliction rather than anything that is in conjunction with something physical, though he does appear to be malnourished some.
Mental affliction and malnourished. Okay. And I already did kind of like my magical check to see if it was anything magical.
Well, it's just not showing up on the detect magic spell.
Yeah, yeah. Which only lasted 10 minutes. So that would have been long gone already.
Yeah.
But I know any specific spell that would affect or like do something that what it's doing to this mage.
Roll a Arcana check. There is so much
That's-
magic in the world, you don't know. There are spells that can do anything. You've even heard of spells that can make sticks turn into snakes and snakes turn into sticks.
I'm gonna switch my dice. That was a 19.
Hmm? It's one.
I'm swapping.
Ephraim's gonna ask Valen, do you, given that we know it's something of the mind, does it seem like there's anything? How do I say this? Can we tell by looking at him where he might have come from, or if any of his belongings are here? Maybe there's information there that wouldn't, that he sees and can't recognize, but we would be able to identify.
Other than like the really frazzled hair, could we tell if this guy was from Barovia?
Uh,
Or are there any other belongings in the cave at all that we can see, or is it just him and the dirt and the fire?
him, his ruined robes, dirt, fire. If he had other possessions, they are not present. Um, he does not look to be like any other Barovian you've seen before.
Is he human?
He is human. Which is perhaps the only trait common to the Barovians. But they are also common to Vistani. Though he doesn't look to be Vistani either.
Can Jinx do an insight check while he's sleeping? Maybe when his face is relaxed, it'll reveal. I don't know. I just feel like my whole character build is based on insight, and I should probably roll it.
Well, what sort of information are you trying to discern? Not just, wanting to roll an insight. Like, what are you hoping to learn out of a situation here?
Like when he's sleeping
Mm-hmm.
and not, I guess, not conscious, is his face fully relaxed, like he's unbothered by anything? Or is there still something present in his expression even when sleeping?
Well, that's very hard to say, as he's turned away from your group on the other side of the fire.
Oh. I'm stealthy. I'll sneak over to take a peek.
He did say if he catches you, he's going to shoot spells at us.
He did say he'd use his magic on you if he knew that you were on the other side.
We do have a potion of invisibility.
You do have a potion of invisibility.
And I'm sure this would be an excellent use of it. Okay. I don't have to know what he looks like when he's sleeping. It's fine.
Have to wait till he wakes up.
That doesn't answer the question I was hoping to answer, but that's okay. I don't want to endanger the party.
As the 8 hours passes, the gentleman on the other side of the fire begins to arise. Um, and his attention immediately goes to the stew that is now fully cooked, nicely warm, and I'm assuming there's enough soup for everyone that has been made?
Yeah, I'd say like I've used like 2 or 3 rations. Technically, Ephraim doesn't get exhausted if he doesn't eat, but at this point, he's gonna make it like a communal meal.
Okay. everyone can mark off the rest that they've taken, whether that is a long rest or a short rest. Gain back those benefits.
But not a long rest yet, right?
I couldn't hear you, Thresh.
You said not. That was just a short rest, not yet for a long rest.
No, this would be a long rest if you took one. We just went through the actions
Okay.
of the short rest first, narratively.
Heard.
So, the madman on the other side of the fire waits until other people start taking soup first before he takes some for himself. And then we'll wait even further to see how other people are eating it before he eats it himself.
When's the last time you had a hot meal?
Might have been the rabbit. You don't see them very often.
Before that?
I don't remember.
How was your sleep?
The ritual went well. I am restored, as I promised.
Truly a great and powerful mage.
Yeah. My magic is designed across the realm.
As I get close to finishing, as I get close to finishing my soup, would you tell us what your name is?
I've said it. What is his name but the howling of the winds, and the calls, screams of the mountain lions? You are what you are called, and I am called by none but that.
Phelan's thinking this didn't work. You should have known.
There's something before the mountains, wasn't there?
I do not
Your
know.
robes aren't.
I do not know what lies before the mountains. All I know are the mountains and the river, the lake, the trees, and all that is within it. I know of the thunder and of the sunless skies. I know of the evil that haunts the land. I feel it. It wants me. It wants my magic.
He's okay. So since it's looking like this quote unquote sleep didn't work, I, I think I'm going to take Esmeralda's advice now and maybe play into his delusions to see if that can get him to help us. These agents you said that are after you, have you seen what they look like?
I've not. But that's the thing. They have bits that they control agents that they send out. They wear the face of many things. Of crows, of wolves, of trees. You don't know what could be an agent and what could be normal.
If we helped you hunt down these agents, would you help us in our endeavor?
I seek not to hunt down the agents, but to protect myself from them. See, they work for their dark masters, and they want my magic. I need to protect myself, protect the magic.
Sometimes they say the best defense is a good offense. If there were no more Dark Masters, you would need to be hiding in a cave for the rest of your days.
We seek out agents that could be hiding amongst everyday people. We slaughter them all entirely.
No on the slaughter.
Well, perhaps, Esmeralda speaks up, we can assist in your issue in a way that assists ours. I believe the figure we're after is a very important agent, and by taking out this one, the others might be too scared to get close to you, as you reaffirm how powerful you are. This causes the man to think. Does anyone else want to cast their words alongside Esmeralda's?
I'll add mine and say, she is right. The person we're after is very powerful. We need all the help we can get.
Roll a persuasion roll. You have advantage because of Esmeralda.
Okay, good. Yes. 27.
I see. I see. And if we lay low this one agent, the others will fall. Like toy soldiers. Yes. I will assist you.
That's good to hear. Do you want to come with us?
How else are we supposed to take down this agent?
Of table, I was gonna say by just by killing him, but we don't know how to do that quite yet. So I will say we are still figuring that part out, but we feel like we're getting close to figuring it out, but we're not quite there yet.
We can stay in my cave until you have figured it out. It is nice here. The food is not hard to find most days, and firewood is plenty.
I think that weren't we going to go somewhere else after we talked to the mad mage? I feel like we were.
Risk, I think, or
Yeah.
Kresk had been an idea, correct?
There was some other business down in the valley that we have to take care of, but we know our way back here.
And you will leave me undefended?
with your powers, I don't believe you would ever be undefended.
Yes, but you were able to find where I am, which means that the agent could. He could be here. You could be one of them.
Broken bread with you. If you were to be taken by the agents, we would have poisoned the food.
As this sort of seems to quell some of the worries, Esmeralda will turn and sort of quietly amongst the group. Do we really think it's a good idea to leave him here on his own?
Well,
I mean, you survived this long with it.
survived is a stretch, I would say. His mind hasn't. We have spare cloaks. And maybe he'll see something that'll jog his memory.
If he's with us and we find someone who can help, maybe we can find someone who can cast Greater Restoration, and then he's with us.
Wasn't there
The abbot? Would the abbot be able to heal him?
the abbot?
Who's that?
The abbot of Krusk? I don't know if he's still there. That's
I mean, if he decides to come with us, I suppose we could do that.
couldn't hurt.
That sounds like yeah. There's risks to both, but we might be able to help him get back to himself if he's with us.
I'll tell this mage, that it would be a lot a much better option if he came with us. And I'll add on to that if one of the other agents were to try and get us, it would most likely be so there's the four of us, then Esmeralda and the mage. It would be 6 against 1, and I wouldn't like their odds very much. What did he say?
A good amount of protection.
Yes.
So he agrees with you.
Faye,
So,
there was a priest or somebody in Valaki, right?
Yes,
Because we gave them the cursed amulet,
that is correct.
but their magic was gone because the bones were taken. Did or something? Did we return the bones?
I
I
do
think we
believe,
found who had them. It was like the coffin maker or
yes.
something.
yeah.
Um, I know that you found out who had them. I don't believe that you returned the bones. You might have, though.
I can't recall. But would we have gotten a sense of whether or not that guy would be able to help the Mad Mage, or would this level of spellcasting be above his pay grade?
Hard to say for sure.
Fair. Jinx doesn't know anything about spellcasting. Yet.
So we've got a decision. Either we go to visit the abbot in Kresk, or we try the priest in Volaki.
It really feels like
I mean,
six
the
of one, half
the
dozen of the other.
the abbot is in the Abbey of Saint Markovia, right? Is that in Krusk or
Yeah, so
outside Krusk?
it's within Kresk's walls, but it overlooks the city. Or the village, really.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't think Krusk Ephraim has ever seen the abbot. He just knows of him, and for him, it's just like, well, I don't know magic, but
Yeah.
maybe the Holy Father can magic his, or just bless the mage and give him back his memory. Who knows?
Alright, we can try the priest first. If that doesn't work, then we can make our way to Kresk and try our chances there.
Do we still have any of the wine bottles from the Wizard of Wines?
Do you?
I'm thinking, because if we did, this would be a good time to let him have a little bit of wine as well, just so getting out of here is a little smoother. Like, here, you've broken bread with us, have a drink with us, now we can go. But I don't think I have anything. Well, we can give him the promise of wine, if not wine itself.
Yep. He seems amiable. Um, so you're able to leave the cave. and make way for, I believe, Velaki is what I heard is your first intention. And I need to ask, what route do you plan to take to get to Velaki? You guys are currently in this area just beyond the border of the map.
Safest would be to travel south along the lake until we get to the bridge and cross the bridge. So we're not too deep in the forest.
Okay. Then I'll ask for a survival roll to find the stream that leads to the lake. This can be done by anybody.
I'll do it
Anybody or
since
everybody?
Anybody. Ephraim does very well with that. And then, who amongst your group is feeling lucky today?
Yeah, all right.
All right, roll for me a d20.
D20. That's a big old 5.
5. Lovely. Ephraim leads you all to the stream. And as you're finding your way down the mountains, Balin,
Yes.
you hear something. A voice.
Oh, okay.
My liege, I do wish to let you know that I sense someone approaching. Or something. You perhaps may wish to be presenting your best face, as you always do, but even more so.
Do my best. Okay. Um. I think this time only listen to that little voice in my head.
It's not in
And
your head. You hear it outside your head. No one else hears it. But it's not in your head.
the voice that
Okay.
only I can hear.
Oh, so you're crazy too.
Well, you don't know that.
Fair, that is meta knowledge. You're right.
um. Okay, so snapping out of what I'm doing, do I see or hear anything?
Not immediately. Jinx, however, you would notice something. You hear the sounds of hoofs on the ground, like a horse approaching.
I'll turn in the direction I hear it.
It's coming towards you from the lake.
Hey guys, I whisper, and I just point in front of us.
Moving up into view about a minute or so later from the incline you are descending. You see a horse. Almost skeletal, the muscles and skin pulled tight across its bones. The rider, ghastly, not quite looking to be human, but sickly. Almost.
Is this the same guy? How many times have you run into this guy?
Oh no, this guy has skin and muscles and is alive. The other guy was very much just a skull.
Never mind, Jinx doesn't say that.
Is he just rising up from the water? Or
No, he's coming up from the lake path. You guys haven't hit the
oh,
lake
okay,
yet.
okay,
Um,
okay, okay.
uh, but as this sort of sickly figure approaches, he draws the horse to a halt and wordlessly holds out 4 envelopes with a wax seal. 1 to Jinx, 1 to Valen, 1 to Flat Top, and 1 to Ephraim.
Uh-oh. Did we just get served? Are we being sued? What is this?
Uh,
It's the real evil
jury duty
of
summons.
it's the real evil of Barovia
Yeah,
bureaucracy.
lawyer couriers.
Well, I
Once
guess
They didn't even ask if those were our names. They could have handed those out to anyone. That wasn't proper procedure.
once the envelopes are delivered, the figure on the horse does not wait for anything. Instead, kicks the horse back into gear and trots off.
You sent these envelopes have a seal on them?
There is a wax seal on them, yes, of a vibrant red.
Little bat. It's a little bat shape.
It is embossed with the von Zarovich crest.
This guy's gotta stop sending me love letters. Getting
Of course,
real
that courier
tiring.
took off so fast. He's got divorce papers to hand out all over town today.
Open envelope.
Yeah. Break the
Jinx is
seal,
too
open the
curious
envelope.
not to open it.
Y'all are fucking crazy. I'm not opening shit.
As you open the envelope, you see a paper. And let me get that picture for you guys. this is what you see.
Is it that?
It is an invitation to a wedding.
God.
I would like to immediately point out it says it demands the pleasure of art. It's not you're invited, it's you will be there.
He is the ancient.
We and gifts and fealty required.
Good news though, guys. I think Irina's fine because it says he's marrying Tatiana.
Who's Tatiana?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Jinx and Valen.
Yeah.
Roll for me a history check.
7.
11.
Valen, you know that there is a connection there, but you can't remember what. But you have heard something between Tatiana and Irina before. But it's been a while. Must have not been something you talked in depth over.
You see that thing at the bottom of the invitation. It says, all will at last be well. Didn't the burgomaster of Valaki have a saying like, all will be well?
Did we show this letter to Esmeralda to ask of this Tatiana? If she recognizes the name? It's also gonna, like, everyone's also gonna ponder out loud. It's interesting you didn't get an invitation, which means guest right and laws of hospitality do not apply in your case.
I mean, I did just try to kill him, so I don't believe that they'd be invited to his happily ever after.
This guy didn't get one either.
I never got mine, so just throw it off to the wayside.
Do we know how long until the next new moon?
I was just about to ask that.
Uh, roll for me a survival or nature roll.
Definitely survival on this one.
Same. A 17. Survival.
Okay.
By your
Well,
best,
even
Valen, Jinx, Ephraim, by your best estimations, in your recollections, you have 23 days until the next new moon.
you have 23 days till this happens.
We better get our ass in gear and get some things happening. We've got a lot of things to solve in a very short amount of time.
Agree.
So, it takes a full day of travel to get to Vlocky. But besides the invitation given, nothing else has disturbed your travel.
No, no werewolves trailing us along the tree line.
Nope.
Ephraim's probably gonna make some small talk with Valen and Jinx, saying that he's not been to Valaki. He's been to Kresk on and off, but Valaki is more or less unknown territory to him.
From what we can tell, it's the biggest town in Barovia that we've come across.
I avoided it at first mostly because not being human, and most of my time was spent out west.
I mean, they didn't give me any problems.
Good to know.
I hope you like eating wolf.
Food is food.
I'm going to need some act of persuasion, deception, what have you, for the guards at the gate to let you back in to Valaki. As the last time you were here, there was a bit of a spectacle that happened.
We had nothing to do with that.
I could try a persuasion check.
And Ephraim's gonna do something he hasn't done before, although I can, well, I know like 2 cantrips for some reason, and one of those is guidance. Can I
Okay.
cast it on Valen?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll roll persuasion, then add a 1d4.
Correct.
Wow.
29. Dang it, not a 30. 29.
29. They remember you, and you're able to sort of call upon aspects of the story that paint you in a better light than they perhaps were originally uh, looking at you. Um, which means that you are once more allowed entrance to Balaki.
I'd love to know how the guards thought one of us tore out that guy's throat.
Well, it was more about the fact that there was a tiger on the loose that you helped escape.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the burgomaster's adopted son getting murked in his own house.
I mean, that also happened there, but more of the fact of...
And then
That could have been anyone. That wasn't us.
I mean, I think we also told the burgomaster, hey, someone asked us to kill you, but we decided not to. So, yay.
That was also said.
Congratulations.
Correct.
It's your lucky day, sir.
Learning
Sorry to hear for your loss.
learning so much in these as we travel in.
From where we enter the town, how far would it be to the church? Where the
That's
priest should be.
Great question. We have a map. I just gotta...
I remember it being on the west end of the town, but
Everything's on the west end.
While they're heading, and Ephraim's going to tell Wayland very pointedly, that wasn't magic, by the way. That's some stuff one of my druid mentors taught me, but it's definitely not magic.
The guidance spell?
Spell? It's not a spell. I don't know how to do spells. Hang on, doesn't have a healthy relationship with magic in general, so...
It's impressive in any instance.
Alright, so you're coming in from here. And it's where you're coming in from. And where you want to be is... I have so many tabs open.
it's that big red building with the half circle to the left of it, isn't it?
Yes, I just confirmed that. I'm just doing a fun thing real quick.
Oh, hey, look, there's a quest over there at that building.
It's a point of interest. So yeah. That's where the other one went. Yeet. We don't need that. So, as you travel, it is now evening. The night has taken hold of the town of Valaki.
Is there any light in the windows at the church?
A small, like, bit of it. Doesn't seem to be like, many lit, sort of alerting an active space, but more of a uh, just acknowledgement of this is a place where something of life is residing.
And see if the doors are open or unlocked at least.
The doors are not unlocked, but there is a set of brass knockers upon the door to alert anyone who wishes for entrance.
Uh, Valen will use the knocker.
Okay. His loud thuds alert any inside. Uh, it is not long before a sound of a latch being removed and the door opening, and there you see the father, Lucian Petrovich. Yes. Are you here for the amulet?
See, I had completely forgotten about the amulet, if I'm being honest. Was it Jinx that dropped off the amulet? I cannot remember.
I'm not sure which one of us handed it over, but I think all three of us at the time were
Okay.
present.
Uh, we would be happy to discuss the amulet, Father, but there's also another matter that we would like to discuss if you have just a moment.
If it is a moment I can give, I will do so.
Okay. May we come in?
And as he looks out beyond the night, just making sure perhaps that shadows are shadows and lingers within them, he'll open the door and allow you an entry, and you can see, of course, much like the last time you were here, there is still Valachian figures who flood to the church in the nighttime hours, some in nightly prayers, others trying to sleep. Um,
I assume he's taking us back to like a more private area.
Currently, just he's let you in and is waiting to see what you.
Okay. Okay. Making sure we weren't still walking before I said something. Father, besides the amulets we have come here for your help in another matter. And I'll step out of the way so that way he can see our ragged friend with us. Without going into too much explanation, we believe that this man has a affliction of the mind, possibly due to magical reasons, and we were hoping that you might be able to help him, maybe with a spell or some other aid.
As you present this, there is a flicker of something across his face. I will. I will try as a kindness for the returning of Saint Angel's bones. But I cannot make promises. The Morning Lord does not favor us here in Barovia.
Can I insight check what that flicker was across his face?
Mm-hmm. Roll an insight.
It's a 24.
It looked like something morose, maybe disappointment. And then paired that with what he said of the Morning Lord does not favor Barovia. It seems that while he is willing to try, he believes that what he can do will not be enough. But he is perhaps trying to save what hope you may have.
Jinx clutches the holy symbol of Timora just a little closer in his pocket.
I assume Jinx doesn't share this out loud.
No.
Okay. With that, then I'll tell the father that it's not a problem, Father. The fact that you're even agreeing to help is enough, so thank you.
So, as the father will look to the Mad Mage and sort of coax him forward, he'll begin whatever divine ritual may help. And as that goes on, we're going to take our real life break here and come back in a few minutes.
Okay.
then we return to Barovia, to Velaki. As the father say here in St. Angel, and what would you do as Father Lucian is performing this rite? Do you stand in the pews with the other Valachians that are gathered here? Do you do something else?
Hmm. I think, yeah, definitely don't want to bother the father while he's doing this. So I will. I think I'll find it, one of the pews that maybe don't have any people sitting in them. I will take a seat, and at the risk of seeming crazy to the other people around me, I think it's time that this voice, whatever it is, it and I had a little conversation.
Okay. So, as that's the intention for Balin, what about the rest of you?
It sounds like we got some time to kill. I'll take a seat in the church pews and see what this man has to say.
Ephraim's gonna.
Before.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
No, you go.
All right. Ephraim's gonna take a seat, probably at the pews somewhere he can access. Well, probably near the back, but close to like within the aisles, so he can move close to the mage if something goes wrong. And he's gonna like cover up his body a little bit so it's slightly less inconspicuous, or whatever that's worth. And yeah.
Before the father starts, Jinx is going to approach the altar or wherever he's doing this, and he's going to offer the holy symbol of Timora and just kind of say, for good luck, maybe two gods will succeed where one may not in this place. And then he'll take a seat in the front because he's curious about what's going to happen.
Okay. There is and Jinx
Sorry.
would see this. There's a lack of recognition when you present Timora's icon. And you would have seen this throughout most of Barovia. Not a lot of presence of gods. Most gods that you have seen are the Morning Lord and the Mother Night, I believe, is the other one.
Jinx is now concerned that he thinks the father's going to think that was an offering because it's just a silver coin with her face on it. So now he's anxious he's not going to get the holy symbol back.
So, while the divine rites begin, it, Father Lucian beginning the intonations, and you can hear some of the other Valachians calling back with prayers that they recognize. You all begin to hear where the sound of a storm picks up outside. rain first, and thunder every so often. Balin,
Mm-hmm.
there's a conversation you wanted to have.
Yes, I did. I'm gonna ask. I don't think I've asked it this yet, but I think it's time to. I will ask simply, what do you want with me?
I want what we've always wanted. I want to be at your side when you take the throne. You wanted a friend, and I'm here. I've always been here.
That was a long time ago.
Time is a funny thing, isn't it? How much time do you think you have left, Finn?
Although I want to be here. No, I'll do it. Probably more than you.
Of course, Your Highness. The king is supposed to reign for a very, very long time. But I am your advisor. I'll be at your side for just as long.
You are something I drew when I was a child.
Then why am I here? If I'm just something you drew, why do you talk to me? Why do you hear me? And then you
'Cause I
feel
get the feeling. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
then you feel hands wrap around you from behind, almost this cruel imitation of a hug.
Mm.
If I am nothing more ink on paper, how is it that you tremble when I touch you?
Steve Valen have this kind of, I'd say, close to disgusted look on his face. I can't tell if you want to hurt me or help me.
My liege, I have your best interest at heart.
Can't you leave me be?
Because you are becoming the king you always were meant to be. And a king needs a good advisor. And I am the advisor that knows you best.
What is it you think you know about me?
It's at that moment that you see leaning over your shoulder into your peripheral, the childlike face of the drawing, the red eyes, the deep skin reminiscent of stone that other drow have, and whispering right next to your ear, I know that you're afraid, Valen.
I'm not gonna say anything.
The face sort of retreats back. But my highness, you don't need to worry about fear. That's why I'm here to help. Two minds are greater than one.
I think I'll just end with, I just know you're gonna end up taking mine.
The last thing you feel is that embrace sort of slide off of you. No words. And very little comfort.
I think it that was I far enough away from other people where they would have heard just a drow talking to himself.
Yeah, it's not a very large place, this church, so with other people, of course, they don't seem to mind much. Most of them that are present are caught in their own fears and worries. But it definitely wouldn't have been unnoticed. Your companions may have even taken note of such interaction.
Yeah. What does a passive perception of 20 get me?
Well, you wouldn't have been able to see much unless you turned around, since this is happening behind you, but you would have definitely heard Valen's voice muttering.
I was more thinking about my hearing because I was looking forward, but would I have heard Valen's side of the conversation?
Only Valen's side.
Flat Top will lean over. I told you he was going crazy.
I'm starting to get concerned.
With 21 passive perception, and an 18 as well. Ephraim and Jinx hear from outside cries. They're distant, not right outside the church, but close enough that you can hear them through the rain.
Wailing? Or I
A little bit of both.
Person or an animal?
It seems humanoid. It seems like something's crying to get attention, but no words.
He's gonna turn around and see if, or notice if anyone else can hear it. Yes.
Jinx
And
is at the front, so Jinx would be turning around in the direction of the noises. So if you were facing forward, you would have seen Jinx turn around.
yeah, I think he's gonna just tap his like where his ear is and just point backwards, assuming
Jinx
you're not
nods.
within earshot. Yeah. So I think Ephraim's gonna nod and then just kind of get up and walk towards the door.
Yeah?
Again, there's only one entrance here, essentially, right?
Yeah. The door is latched once more, but it's a simple enough take the bar out of the latch and you can step outside.
Yeah. You will step outside and just, again, like not all the way out, but just kind of open it a peek to see if you can, if there's a source for the sound that's visible.
You hear the sound more clearly now that the door is open. It's crying. Again, something trying to get your attention. And it's coming from a nearby building, one that, if Jinx would follow along, recognizes as the orphanage.
Yeah, Jinx, I think, would also have followed because he wouldn't want anyone to be traveling by themselves in this place. So he's gonna hope that maybe Flat Top and Valen will stay to oversee this proceeding to make sure nothing goes sideways. But he would probably quietly excuse himself and try and catch up with Ephraim.
Yeah, Ephraim's probably not rushing because, again, he's not as familiar with Valaki as Jinx, let's say. So Jinx, like, by the time he let Jinx catch up and ask, he'll point towards the building that he assumes the sound is coming from. Like, do you know this place?
That's the orphanage. There was some terrible things happening there when we first arrived here. There was an amulet that was, I don't know, possessed or something. There was a demon. But we took care of that. Well, I thought we did.
Stepping out into the evening, do either of you have dark vision?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Yep.
60
You
feet.
Same.
past the rain, as you get a little closer, you'd see the source of crying. There is a basket in front of the door to the orphanage.
This affects Jinx very strongly.
It is raining, right?
It is raining.
Jeez. Ephraim's probably faster, so I guess he's gonna dash over to the basket as fast as he can.
You can. Both of you can get there pretty quick. Both of you have speed as your friend will call it.
I mean, Ephraim's probably thinking more like a medicine man than anything else. Thinking like an infant in the rain and the cold is gonna be at risk.
Jinx is just, he's running his hands along the scarf that he's wearing kind of without even thinking about it, and he's very uncomfortable but is trying to keep up with Ephraim.
As you get closer, you're able to see that tucked into the basket is a blue blanket around the figure inside.
Is the figure mobile? Like, can we see it? Like, assuming it's baby shaped or sized, like, can you see anything moving?
You see a bit of movement, yeah. But mostly you see the blue blanket.
Jinx will force himself to go closer and look down at it.
The child here is tightly swaddled in a hood made from the blanket brought overhead.
The orphanage's door is closed, I'm assuming, at this point. Like, it's probably latched closed.
It is closed and you see no lights inside.
Ephraim's gonna look at Jinx and, like, he's probably gonna kneel down and try and cover it from the, well, the basket from the rain. He's gonna look at Jinx and probably ask, there's no light here. Can we just take this back to the... Yes, at least we know that door's open. We don't know about any of these other doors.
I mean, there should be people in there. Maybe they've just gone to bed. Jinx is too afraid to look too closely at the infant, and he just goes up to the door and knocks on it.
Okay.
While Jinx knocks, I guess Ephraim tries to examine the infant a bit more closely. And he's trying to see, like, if there's water that's soaking into the blanket at all, or just trying to use his cloak to cover the basket, I'd say.
The first thing you notice, Ephraim, is that the child is cold. Still crying. Still moving, but cold. Unnaturally so.
Is the child breathing?
As much so to wail, to get attention. But with a passive perception of 18, you'd notice the eyes of this child. An unnatural, vibrant red.
And it's a vaguely it is a human child, it looks like, right? Or
Best you can tell.
human-ish.
Best you can tell is humanish.
Well, cold could mean any number of things. Like he's just talking out, like thinking aloud to himself, like differential diagnosis mode. Um, red eyes. I don't know what red eyes mean.
It's at this point
Most
that the
humans don't have
door
red eyes.
opens and you see the matron of the orphanage. And she's got her wrap around her and... Jinx, it's good to see you again.
Yes, it's good to see you as well. He whispers.
I will say at this point you would have noticed the baby has stopped crying.
Jinx will look around confused. He was just about to say there's a child crying, but stops himself because he hears no child crying.
And
I'm still looking at the
Ephraim.
basket at this point.
At the basket, the blanket is still there. There's no infant inside of it. No, this is just a bunch of produce. Maybe perhaps donation.
He's going to take the blanket out and just kind of just shuffle through it. It's very. There was a child here crying. Didn't we heard it? Didn't you hear it?
Did you hear anything?
First thing I heard was the knock on the door. And the storm, of course.
I'm so sorry to have disturbed you at this late hour. We swore we heard an infant crying, and there was a basket.
The basket's here. He's gonna hold up the blue blanket, I think.
Yeah, you've got a blue blanket
There was a
and it was wrapped around the produce that's in the basket. Perhaps to keep it protected from animals.
Ephraim's got the basket in one hand and the blanket in the other. He's just looking between both of these and at the matron and the Jinx. There was a child here. Cold, red eyes.
It is disheartening to hear. But if this child returns, I will stay up and close the doors that I may hear.
Thank you. Perhaps you could make use of this produce, I guess? Jinx is very confused.
We have been receiving some donations from people who might not wish to know their faces to be known. And I believe this is perhaps one of those, but yes. Will make for hearty food for the children.
Zephyr hands over the basket and the blanket. He's looking confusedly at Jinx and then back at the church. You heard it, right? I didn't imagine
absolutely
this.
did. No, I heard it. I hope that produce isn't cursed.
Well, if they've been receiving regular deliveries, then maybe the trick's just on us, not on them.
I really hope that's the case. We should probably head back.
Yes, I agree. And he's gonna head back to the church, assuming with Jinx. He's gonna keep looking back, just checking to see if that thing reappears. His ears are like just kind of pricking up for any other sounds on the way.
On the walk back, Jake starts to ask several questions like, did it have, was it, and he doesn't finish the questions he's starting to ask, and then remembers something that Ephraim said was it had red eyes, and he relaxes a little bit. He's still kind of running his hands along the scarf, almost as like a comforting uh, mechanism. But after stopping and starting several questions, he said he'll ask, "Did you say it had red eyes?"
Eyes, human shaped, I would say. Could be human, could be elven. I can't always tell the difference. Cold for warm-blooded creatures. Red eyes, brilliant red eyes. I haven't seen that in human children, I don't think.
Jinx will further relax when Ephraim says human or possibly elven. I can't say I have either. Although the vampire spawn that we've run into, because I think we have run into a couple.
Definitely run into at least one.
At least one I do in the woods somewhere once.
Oh, I was thinking about
Did
Dormu.
that one, yep, him as well. Did they have red eyes?
They did.
Yeah. I have seen creatures, humanoid creatures with red eyes, but I have not seen infants with red eyes.
What were you expecting it to be? Seem less afraid now than beginning.
Thought I was gonna see myself.
Yeah, I can see how that would be scary. Like he's kind of thinking back to how he saw his own corpse earlier.
He's even wrapped in something that was almost the same color as I was, and he kind of holds the scarf out.
Were you orphaned as an infant?
Yeah, I was left at an orphanage in a basket. I'm assuming just like that one, and all I had with me was what I was wrapped in, which was this.
Seems like every vision we get is made to torment us with who we are and where we've been.
Yeah. Once we get back to the church, Jinx does not resume sitting at the front because he doesn't want to be so disruptive. He'll just sneak into you at the back.
Yeah, I think probably the same for Ephraim. I think he's probably just gonna stay close to the door, kind of.
I think we kept seats for him in the back.
Yeah,
All
there'd
right.
be room in the pew near Valen and Flat Top. The rites turned mass essentially here come to an end. And the father brings your companion back to you. And Jinx, you see that look on his face again. That morose, dismayed look. The first thing that he hands to you is the coin. I do not know that your God has heard me, but the Morning Lord is unable to perhaps alleviate the madness. Or it is too strong for my capabilities.
Thank you for trying. Did the mage agree to this arrangement willingly? Did he know what was going on?
He walked with the man.
Trying to do this thing.
He walked with the man. Of course, there was a little come here, mage. Not quite in that tone, but enough to get him to walk up. But now that the father sort of leaves a little dismayed, and sitting amongst all of you, the mage. Well, I've heard better stories in my time. I'm sure I have, even if I can't remember them.
Can
I was
we drop
sure.
a few coins in the alms box over here and get him a new robe? Just so he's not walking around in the tattered hobo robes from before.
This guy needs a spa day, okay?
Like, we can't do anything about like the bugs in his hair, but at least a change of clothes.
Come morning, yeah, you'll probably be able to find some clothes. You might even be able to find assistance in the Blue Water Inn.
But I think Jinx was saying something interrupted.
Oh, Caitlin was just about to comment that Jinx was fully prepared to like have to convince the mage to go along with this spell because the mage doesn't seem to think there's anything wrong with him. So Jinx was preparing like things to maybe say, and he was like, "Oh, maybe we can just tell him that the spell is just going to make it so that his socks never get holes in them again." But the
That's
spell
what
didn't
did
work,
it.
so it doesn't matter.
Do you wish to spend this evening in the church? There are no beds in the church, but you can rest amongst the pews. Or do you go to the Blue Water Inn and hope that perhaps they might have space for you in this late hour?
My first thought was the Blue Water Inn.
I'm happy to follow along to the end. If that's where we're headed.
All right, Blue Water Inn it is. Esmeralda and the mage following behind. The mage, of course, doing so a little bit more warily, watching.
Can we ask Esmeralda real quick if she's ever encountered red-eyed children or baby vampires, I guess?
Yes and no. I have seen children, young souls that vampires have taken and enthralled, turned. It is not a pretty sight. I've never seen one so young as an infant, though.
And a particularly cruel illusion. I'm just gonna shudder and then keep walking.
When you get to the Blue Water Inn, you hear the sounds of ravens sort of hauling, and when you approach, you would notice Danica sort of coming down. She's wrapped a robe around herself and carries a lantern to greet you. I don't believe I have got enough for 6 beds, but as she notices Valen and Jinx, I do believe the room that you had stayed in before is available. She'll quickly grab a key and bring it back to you.
Jinx will like elbow Valen.
Thank you. You'll say, take the key.
I don't mind taking the floor. I think there's 4 beds.
There's 4 beds in that room, correct.
Yeah.
There's
so
only one
Jinx
bed.
Jinx will offer to sleep on the floor.
I think I got a bedroll with me. I'm more than equipped to handle that.
Yeah, I think Ephraim also has a bedroll, so as long as we're in an enclosed space, I'm good.
I got a pretty good night's sleep in the cave. I can rough it out one night if you want to get a good night's.
I would appreciate a night's rest.
Thank you.
All right. Are we doing watches in the inn, or are you trusting the 4 walls around you?
Seeing the basket, Ephraim is going to be in favor of watches, and he will take first watch regardless. He's not going to fall asleep if he tries to now.
Yeah, I don't know how much sleep Valen's going to be getting.
So does Valen want to take a watch too?
Yes.
I mean, same for
I'll go.
Jinx, but we
Oh,
get
that's
a
my
room, none of us
trade-off.
can sleep.
I'll take sleeping on the floor, but I'm gonna get a shiftless sleep. I think that's a fair trade.
Jinx, do you want to take 3rd watch then?
I will take 3rd watch, yeah.
Okay. And then we'll have Esmeralda join Valen on 2nd.
Sure.
And our Mad Mage will partake in his Greater Restoration ritual once more.
in the way of this guy's sleep.
Jinx has no arguments against that.
So, I think with that, then we'll come back to your rest and your watches in our next session.
Yeah.